Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into something crucial. Relationship growth. What does that actually mean? Beyond just looking good together for the pictures.
Exactly.
We've got some great sources for this. And honestly, they have this really uh, humorous but also super sharp way of looking at it.
hmm And it's such an important topic. It's surprisingly easy for relationships just to stall out, isn't it? If you're not deliberately putting in the effort.
Totally.
So this deep dive, we're pulling out some practical insights from these really relatable sources. They really highlight the difference between, actively watering your love and just kind of letting it wilt.
Yeah, just letting it sit there. So get ready. We're aiming to uncover some, I think, pretty surprising facts and maybe a fresh angle on something that seems simple, but, well, it's often really misunderstood. Okay, so let's unpack this first big one. Communication. Our sources jump right on this.
Always key.
Right. And they stress it's not just that you talk, but it's really about how you talk. There's this huge difference they point out between, say, trying to argue through WhatsApp voice notes
Oh, gosh, yeah.
versus actually having, a proper adult conversation.
Right.
And they paint this picture, kind of humorously, of couples talking like FBI agents.
Yeah.
Asking those drilling questions like, okay, where were you exactly at 7:46 p.m.? Or, why did you heart react Sharon's story? That kind of thing.
hmm
And they say this points to something much, much deeper than just the surface argument.
It really does. That whole FBI agent thing you mentioned,
Yeah.
it just screams lack of trust, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It turns what should be an open conversation into, well, an interrogation.
Mhm.
And our sources really hammer this point. Most people in those moments don't listen to understand. They listen to reply.
Yeah, I see that.
And often, like they say, with attitude. It becomes about defending yourself,
Right.
right? Protecting your ego, maybe,
Yeah.
instead of actually trying to connect or figure things out.
So you're basically setting up to fight.
Pretty much. If your goal going in is to spar, as they put it, rather than to solve, then you're kind of blocking genuine connection right from the start. You're preventing that real growth.
Okay, and building on that, this idea of getting real, our sources make it super clear that actual growth, it's often uncomfortable.
That's a huge takeaway. It's not glamorous.
Right. The surprising thing is it means facing some tough stuff sometimes. Maybe it's therapy, maybe it's journaling, or just having that kind of moment where you think, oh, wait, maybe I was the problem here.
That aha moment or maybe uh-oh moment.
Exactly. And it's not just about the dreaming part, like, oh, babe, one day we'll travel the world. It's about the planning part.
The practical side.
Yeah. Our sources have this really blunt, kind of funny way of putting it. Do y'all even have savings or just matching Crocs?
Huh. Yeah, I remember that line.
Because, and this is direct quote, them Crocs ain't flying y'all to Bali, fam. It really cuts through the fluff.
It does. And that distinction between just wishing for something and actually doing something about it, that's everything. Growth needs that deliberate, sometimes difficult effort.
It's work.
It is
It
work.
is.
Moving from dreaming to actual tangible steps, like planning together. It's not just about the money, is it? It builds a shared future. It builds accountability, problem solving together, skills you absolutely need.
Right.
And if you avoid that work, the sources are clear.
Sure.
You end up stuck since 2022, just repeating the same fight, same problem, same we'll talk later that, never actually happens.
Okay, so if growth is work and sometimes uncomfortable work, how do couples actually do it, like in their everyday lives?
Yeah, good question.
Our sources really emphasize learning together as a big pathway.
Shared learning.
Yeah, and this could be anything, really, like consuming stuff together, podcasts, books, classes, or even something simpler, like just cooking something new together.
Reading new experiences.
Exactly. And they playfully suggest, growth is sexy. But on a deeper level, it's really about understanding each other better, like really getting your partner's love language.
Oh, that's a big one. The misfires there can be huge.
Totally. They give these great examples that I think everyone can relate to, like buying flowers when actually she just wants you to fold the laundry and rub her back.
Right. The intention is good, but the impact is off.
Or buying expensive cologne when really he just wanted peace, Wi-Fi, and a nap.
Yes. It perfectly shows that misaligned effort, doesn't it?
It does.
When you really understand what your partner needs, not just what you think they need or what you would want, and you actively learn together, that builds real intimacy. It stops those well-meaning gestures from falling flat.
Right.
It's not just about gathering facts. It's about applying that understanding to, actually deepen the bond. You're creating shared experiences, building empathy. It turns individual learning into something shared.
What about when couples don't do this, when they don't lean into that growth?
Yeah, the flip side.
Our sources paint well, it's kind of a sobering picture, but also, again, kind of darkly funny. They say, imagine a couple that just refuse to grow.
Mm.
They're just perpetually chilling in the same spot with zero progress, stuck on like season 19 of Argue, Make Up, Repeat.
Oh, man. Argue, make up, repeat. That cycle. It's exhausting just thinking about it.
Totally. That loop where you have the same fight, you smooth things over, but nothing actually changes. You never move forward.
Exactly right. And that stagnation,
Hmm.
it's not just staying still, is it?
Mm-hmm.
It's often a slow slide backwards, a decline.
Yeah.
It really highlights what happens when the effort stops. The relationship doesn't just stay the same. It starts to wilt, to use their metaphor.
That's a good way to put it.
And they even push it further, asking this really interesting question.
Mm.
What if one person is actively, maybe even unintentionally, blocking the sun from the other person's attempts to grow?
Ooh, that's heavy.
It is. It shows that stagnation can be mutual neglect, sure. But sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it might be one partner resisting change, holding the other back, and basically starving the relationship of what it needs to thrive.
Wow. Okay, so bringing this all together for you listening, if you're in a relationship, the big message from all these sources seems pretty clear. Don't just flex it on Instagram. You've got to actively grow it in real life.
That's the core of it.
And they give some really good practical advice, too. Things like water your love, pray together, cry together, laugh at corny memes, and this one's important. Check each other, but with love, not with ego.
That last part is crucial. Checking each other with love. It reinforces that core idea.
Mm.
Relationships need ongoing conscious nurturing.
Like a plant.
Exactly like a plant. If it's not growing, it's either, a lack of effort from both people or, like they said, one person might be blocking the sun. It's such a simple metaphor, that botanical one for love, but it's really quite profound when you think about it.
It really is. So maybe the final thought to leave you with, building on all this, love hard, grow deep.
Yes.
And please don't ever date someone who thinks growth just means gaining more followers.
Perfect.
Think about how that applies in your own life, your own relationships. What does that genuine, flourishing growth actually look like for you? Something to mull over.